Hi my beautiful stars. So today's Vlogmas day 4 is going to look a little bit different as well because I'm living in a snow globe currently. It is snowing pretty, not heavily, but a lot, and it was advised not to drive on the roads if you didn't have to. And it's my day off today, so I decided as much as I wanted to go shopping, I had other plans for today's Vlogmas. I don't want to take the chance and go out there if it's not completely necessary. So for today's video, something that got me thinking about the holidays was retail. And I worked in retail for 4 years, from when I was a sophomore in high school to a sophomore in college. It was my first job ever. I was 16 years old when I applied for it and I got it. I learned a lot about people. It was mentally and physically draining at times, more so mentally than anything. As someone that is very sensitive, it was hard for me to deal with really rude customers, and it was hard for me to work there long. I mean, I'm really proud of myself for lasting as long as I did, but this is to all you that work in retail. My heart goes out to you. Anything customer service, it doesn't have to be just retail. It's hard, and around the holiday season, I feel like a lot of people get antsy. They can be mean, and so these are my stories. Maybe they'll make you feel a bit better, laugh a little bit, and enjoy the stories. I'm gonna also be getting ready today. I did start with my sunscreen, moisturizer, and then I have chapstick on my lips, and then I did do a little bit of my foundation stick. It is Revlon's Flesh line, and I'm in the color Vanilla, but let's just get into the stories. So the first one was actually like my first time dealing with a mean customer. These stories are more so about like customers than people that I worked with, because I didn't really have a huge problem with people I worked with. There were like some managers that were not very nice to me. I don't know why. I always came to work. I never really called in sick. I did my job. But some people that are unhappy just like to bring other people down that are happy, so it's fine. Looking back on it, I think it's kind of funny because I was like literally a child and they were like in their 40s and they were picking on me. I'm like, okay, whatever makes you sleep. So this story, I worked a lot in the fitting room at this job because it was what I was good at, and I didn't even get trained on as a cashier until like 6-7 months into the job. My general manager kept pushing it off and I was like, okay. And then it was like something I needed to do, and one of the managers took over and she was like, you need to know how to do this. I don't know why she waited so long, and threw some shade at our general manager that day, just a little bit. The first time dealing with a quote-unquote Karen was interesting to say the least. I was in the fitting room. It was a night shift and we had to count the amount of items in everyone's hands before they went into the fitting room. I can't even remember the limit, to be honest. It might have even been like 10 items, but we had to count it just because of loss prevention and stuff like that. Makes a lot of sense. You don't want people stealing, and especially right under our noses. And I didn't ever assume somebody was gonna steal stuff when they came into the fitting room. I'm not really someone to just be like, you're gonna steal. Like, I'm just not like that. So I always was very the same towards every person that came into the fitting rooms, just as like a background. But she came in with 3 pairs of jeans, and she was like the first person in the fitting room for like an hour and a half. So I was like, oh my gosh, person. So I was like, hi. I was like, how many items do you have? She goes,
3, obviously.
and I'm like, okay, I just need to count them because it's just protocol. And so I always would over explain myself because I didn't want people getting mad at me for no reason other than them being just sassy pants. And I counted the 3 items and she goes,
That was really unnecessary.
and I'm like, sorry, again, it's just protocol. And with me being 3 months into the job, I did not want to get in trouble for something that I obviously could handle doing and following protocol wise. So she goes into the fitting room and I'm like, cool, going about my job, doing my thing. She comes back out of the fitting room like 10 minutes later and throws the jeans at me. And I go, have a wonderful night. And she walks away. That was the first person that was just not very nice to me. Again, I never was like mean to customers off the bat. I was always very, very nice to them. Overly nice probably than they deserved. I did it anyways. And then the second one, I actually also got something thrown at me. So I was cashiering at this point. It was, I think, year 3 of me working there, and we finally got a male manager, which was just nice to kind of change things up a little bit, just have a little bit of dynamics in the job. It was kind of rare to have guys work there, so it was just nice to have somebody different. This lady stormed into the store and threw a pair of jeans at my face. I'd never seen this woman in my life. I didn't see her that day, and she goes,
one of your employees left this sensor on my pair of jeans, and now I can't wear them.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Was it our store?
No, and why does that matter? It's one of you guys that did it.
My male manager that was working was standing right beside me when this happened, and he goes, that's not acceptable, and like called the lady out for it. I just can't believe that people have the guts to be mean like that to other human beings. I always had like a little bit of a like monologue in my mind of things I could say to people if they're being mean to me. A lot of the time they're women in like their 40s and 50s, and I'm like, take a step back from the situation. I am 17 years old and you're yelling at me for something I can't, nor do I have control over. So just like take a deep breath. I never did it because I was terrified. I was shaking in my boots. Literally hated working there. Every day I would cry on my way home from work. I'm not even joking. It was really, really hard on me mentally. Again, it wasn't like really typically managers or anything. It was always customers. And I think like our targeted audience of people that would come into the store were just not happy people. Next and last story, this guy with his family, he had a 3-year-old and his wife with him. Old Navy, because now I drop names, has Super Cash, and it's not Kohl's Cash. It's completely different. You had to, for a couple weeks leading up, usually to like the holidays or like when there was a slow season, we would do Super Cash. Basically, if you spent $20, you got $10 Super Cash. If you spent $50, you got $20, and if you spent $70, you got $30. So what you'd have to do is when you come back to the store during the months that it's available to be used and the dates, you have to again spend that threshold to get your money taken off. So you have to spend $20 to get $10 off. And this person didn't understand that, which is fine because I can understand how it's like a little confusing. We actually had a Kohl's just down the way in the same shopping area. I can understand how that like can be a little bit confusing. Even though we are separate companies, I still like gave people the benefit of the doubt because Kohl's Cash, Super Cash, is going to be confusing. This person came in and clearance at the time couldn't be counted towards Super Cash thresholds, so you couldn't buy $20 of clearance and get $10 off. I know how like lame that sounds, but it was just a company thing. Sometimes I would like ask a manager to like let it slide if I knew the customer was going to be really mean. I didn't want to deal with them, but this customer, I said, I'm so sorry sir, like you have to spend this amount, and he goes,
don't talk to me.
and I'm like, I'm sorry. He goes,
stop talking, shut up.
I'm like, would I?
He goes, stop talking. I do not want to hear your voice right now. You have so much attitude.
And literally all I said was, you need to spend this amount of money. I said it in that exact tone. Where was their attitude? If you want attitude, I can serve it up on a platter, a silver one if you want it. I can definitely be sassy, but was I when it was not necessary? No. And I was giving the best customer service I could. I was apologizing and he kept telling me to shut up. After I checked him out, I had to go into the back room and cry. My manager asked me if I was okay. Coworker that was up at the cash rep with me also asked if I was okay, and I'm like, nope. And that was like, I think my final year working there. So that was really hard on me because I didn't want to make anyone upset, obviously. Yeah, that was the first time a man ever told me to shut up. That was really, really, really mean and not necessary. But I hope that all those people out there that were crabby get the days that they deserve. And, you know, everyone has a rough day sometimes. It kind of stinks when they bring it out on you when you have nothing to do with their bad day, but just human nature, I guess. These are my crazy retail horror stories. I have a lot more. Where those came from, those are kind of more mild, I guess. If you want to hear more, definitely comment down below. If you have any horror stories from customer service, please let me know. The drama is real, the tea is real. It's kind of like comforting in a way to hear other people's stories, as horrible as they can be. But shout out to all of my past and current managers that work there. I haven't worked there in a few years now, but if you're still working there, I'm rooting for you. You got this. You guys are a rare breed of people that can handle this, and I just props to you, man. So thank you for watching today's Vlogmas. I'm sorry again that I didn't really get to do a lot of like vlogging, but it was kind of like talking on FaceTime with you, and I hope that you enjoyed nonetheless, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys, shine bright.